this part of my face here doesn't have any dimension. It just looks flat, even though I have like a chiseled face. But here, like without even pouting, you're seeing it already. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. This is not your first time. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. You're the real MVP. Thank you for returning to my growing channel. It is not easy. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any content from my channel. And of course, like and share this video as well. If you haven't watched my updated foundation routine, showing you guys how I now apply my foundation and what products I use these days. If you want to watch that, if you haven't watched that before watching this, click the card up here so you can better understand the process and better appreciate it as well. It's not long, I promise. It's not that long, so watch it and then come back and continue watching this one, because this is pretty much a continuation. So I'm basically going to be showing you guys how to highlight and contour properly. Okay, so if you're interested in this video, then definitely keep on watching. But before you continue watching, hit the subscribe button, like this video already because you're gonna like it, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a bit. So having applied your foundation and whatnot, depending on your preference, sometimes I like to contour first, other times I like to highlight first before contouring. Right now, I'm feeling like I should contour first before highlighting, so I'm going to do that first. What I like to do is to, the products that I really love using. Before now, I used to use LA Girl Concealer and it was doing a great job, but I can't remember when last I used LA Girl Concealer to contour. And when I was using LA Girl Concealer, just for shade reference, I was using the LA Girl Concealer in the shade Beautiful Bronze. It was a really natural bronzy, contour for, people that of my shade, if you're this complexion. But if you're darker, it won't really show it. To almost be like your foundation shade. So I went ahead and I purchased this. I know that it's not a very good foundation for foundation. If you want to apply this as foundation, your dark skin, are you laughing at me, babe? If you're an oily skin person and you want to use this as a foundation, you're on your own, because it had like a velvety feel. It might not work. I haven't tried it, but maybe I'll get my exact shade and try it and let you guys know. If you would be interested in that kind of video, then definitely let me know down below. And besides, truthfully, I'm the kind of person that once I find something that works for me, I stick to it like religiously. I won't change. Just like this, my Maybelline foundation, I've been using this for years now. I haven't switched. I've never used any other foundation. Like whenever I get sent foundation in PR, I use it once for the unboxing and review, and then that's the end. I go back to my super stay. Like I cannot come and kill myself. Long story short, I would use this to contour, and this is the Black Opal foundation in the shade Carob. I really like this shade because it's very pretty. It gives you like a natural flush, and to even make it more pronounced, I always use my blush. So for blush, for me is the lipstick that I have that was really inexpensive. Truthfully, I got that for 300 naira, and it does a very great job at just giving me that extra flush on my skin, on my cheeks rather. And one thing I really love about this foundation stick is that it comes in a stick format, so you don't have to pump or put on your hand and then before applying on your face, which is, before you contour, you want to identify the below your cheekbone. So you can either do it for people who have like very defined cheekbones. Like I wouldn't say mine are like defined, but since I've been doing this for years, it's easier for me to really identify where that is. But if you're not used to, this is your first time, I got you. So what you do is just suck your lips like this. Naturally you see a line, so that's where you're supposed to contour. Highlighting and contouring basically means that you highlight where light would naturally hit and then contour the areas where light would not hit. So I would like to show you guys that if I switch off both lights, I have like just one light, you would see where the areas that lights are hitting. That's because So let me just show you guys a quick trick as well. Okay, so just use this as an example. I've turned off one of my soft boxes and I've left just one source of light. So I don't know if I face here, if you guys can see me, but let's just use half of my face. So the light is hitting me at this area, and then you can see the highest points where the light is more pronounced. The tip of my nose, a bridge of my nose here. When I say bridge, I don't mean like there's no way light will hit your whole nose, like the whole line. So whenever I see girls highlighting like they go an extra length and like just putting like a so here, and then a bit here on my brow, and here. Can you see? So here, you can see a little bit here, and then you can definitely see here. So let me turn my other ring lights, my other soft box on, and then continue with the rest of the video. With that principle in mind, I am sure that by now you better understand what highlighting and contouring basically means. Yeah, you can either do this, pout and get that line, but since I'm already used to that, I'm just going to go ahead and draw it. But let me just show you guys just in case. Can you see? So one thing I also like to do is also to contour this area. There are different contours for different face shapes. This contour would work on you if you have my face shape. I don't know if you guys get, but it's still the same principle. Even if your face is round, it's still the same principle of highlighting where light hits and contouring where light doesn't hit. Do you understand? For this application, you can either use the brush, or you can either use a brush or you can use beauty blender. So I feel like I should use a brush today. I usually would use my beauty blender. So what I like to do is to tap, so and gently swipe. So I'm not really swiping, I'm just pressing it in and just blending it out, so to say. So it's okay if the contour is like getting to your brows. Remember that we haven't highlighted, so once we highlight, everything is going to come together and look a lot better. So that's why I told you that I like to contour first. So I'm doing this side so you can compare it with the other side once we're done. Can you see this shade? It comes out, like you can tell that I contoured my face. So I don't like seeing harsh lines, so what I would like to do is just slightly blend that out. And yeah, so next thing I like to do is then go in with the foundation that I used earlier and just blend it further so that it looks more natural. Okay, can you see? Are you seeing this? Are you? Okay, so next step, I like to highlight. And to highlight, before now I used to use the ColourPop concealer in the shade 42. When I started newly, as I said, I used to use LA Girl, and that's fine. It's okay to use LA Girl. In fact, LA Girl used to be like my holy grail, and it does a fantastic job in getting your face. In fact, people used to use this as foundation. So but then I moved on to using ColourPop, and this is in the shade medium dark 32. Sorry, medium dark 32. Yeah, ColourPop concealer. And please don't fret if you get this and you see some they have glossy heads and then the other doesn't have glossy heads. So can you see? So one is matte. This is the matte, like the bottle is matte, while this one is a bit glossy. I don't know if you guys can tell, but yeah, I just want to let you guys know that it's the same. This thing, don't be scared if you're in that similar and you got this and then you're wondering why it's different from the previous one you got. It's the same. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, so long story short, I now use the Nuban Beauty, and God, let me tell you guys something. This concealer, it's a bomb. So it's that concealer you've heard about, you've seen people use, but you've never used it, and then once you use it, you fall absolutely in love with it. It's very good. One thing I would like to say about it is that it's not the type that you'd highlight all over your face and then blend it later. Nah, unlike the fun LA Girl, you apply it, you leave it for like a few seconds, for it to get a bit tacky and then blend for a fuller coverage. This, like, once you leave it it becomes like very dry, so you have to spray your face to melt it so you can blend out better. So basically you need to use this in sections. So yeah, and this is in the shade 43. Okay, so I'll be using the beauty blender, and I like to start from the outer corners and then just work my way inwards. You can see that I'm also taking it to my temple, just making sure that everything is well blended. And then now I'm just gonna go in, and so once I've done that, I'll just go in and use the brush that I used to blend my contour and just make sure that everything is looking nice and smooth. This part of my face here doesn't have any dimension, it just looks flat, even though I have like a chiseled face. But here, like, without even pouting, you're seeing it already. The extra step that I also take is to apply blush, and as I said earlier, I use a lipstick to blush, and this is the Ever Beauty matte lipstick. It's in the shade 205. So I basically just screw this up and just tap on the apples of my cheeks, and sometimes I like to take it to my temple as well, because I really like the color it gives. So it gives like this natural flush. So just gonna blend. Yeah, so let me go ahead and do the rest of my contouring, just replicate what I did here onto this other side, and then I'll be right back to show you guys the rest of the look. The next thing you want to do is to apply concealer and highlight your forehead. So let me show you a quick trick to having that very chiseled forehead-ish. So just draw the shape of the sun. You can either do this or just draw a straight line. Another very key thing you want to do is to now draw a V between your brows, the beginning of each of your brows, and then connect it with a line down the bridge of your nose. So contouring my nose is going to be a different video, that's why I'm leaving that out. So if you're interested in how to contour a big nose and making it look this small, then just click the card up here, or yeah, check the description link for a video to take you to that. So next part you want to highlight is to highlight here. Another thing I like to also do is apply some concealer here, because these sides are usually dark, so I just like to just bring it out a bit. So just to brighten my eyes even more, I like to use the P. Louise just a little bit in the inner. Just helps to really brighten your eyes. So I'm going to focus the blending right there. So I'm going to do my brows, then come back and show you guys the finish highlighting and contouring, and then we'll just set it with powder and move on to the next. What I like to do first is to use my powder shade, and I'll be using this Flawless Ivy powder in the shade, I don't know, Ivory. And I'm just going to use this on top and set my highlight before going in with an actual highlight. What this does is then makes the whatever highlight setting powder you want to use, it helps it blend better into your skin. Next, to set my highlight properly, I'll be using the Sacha Buttercup, and I'll use this and just basically press it on. So as I'm setting my highlight, I'm going to be pressing the setting powder on my nose and drawing just basically where the highlight was on my nose. A contour shade, and I'll be using this Edgar and Esther shade in HW37, and I think I'll be using this. But before I use it, I'm just going to go ahead and dust off the excess powder. Okay, so this is how it's looking. I'm just going to contour, and I'll be using that shade that I showed you guys earlier, and I'll be starting here because this powder is really pigmented, and I want to dust off the excess before applying it. Then for blush, I'll be using the Lady V Beauty something palette. And I'm using these 2 shades here. And the next thing I like to do is set my face, and I'll be using the rose water that I showed you guys earlier once everything is sitting in pretty. And to properly highlight my face and just to bring in the extra shine and glow, I'm going to be using the 4-color beam highlighter beam, and this is in Sun Rays 02. I really love the shade. I think this is the only favorite product that I have that I didn't buy too, because I feel like this should last me like 1 year at least. Do you understand? So yeah, so I'm just going to use this highlighter brush, and this is the MK02. I don't know what brand this is, but it's a tapered highlighter brush. It's really, I didn't used to use this before. I think what I used to use was the 4-color one, which was quite similar, only that it was fuller than this and shorter. But this, I don't know, it works better. So I like to start from here when I'm highlighting. I'll then apply some on the bridge of my nose. I like to use my finger actually, so I basically just tap. So again, I'll use the powder brush just to blend everything. Then finally, you can see this highlight here. Just gonna bring that, make it more pronounced. Actually, I do like doing this, but I just thought it was nice. Like, so when I'm taking a picture like this, I usually would just apply it all over my forehead. But yeah, this is okay. And this is basically it. I'll go ahead and apply mascara and lipstick or lip gloss. But because I'm going to be doing a look, I'm not going to trouble myself doing all that. I just wanted to show you guys my foundation routine and what's not. But if you want to watch the eyeshadow application and my signature lip tutorial, because a lot of you guys have been killing me for it, then definitely check the description bar and click the card up here for all the videos. I'm going to try to link everything so you can watch all of them. So it's going to be like a playlist and you can just watch beginning to the end.